Welcome back, Kitchen Table Wargamers. We've got a fantastic showdown today. We've got the Drukhari facing off against the Thousand Suns. So this is Josh's army again. He's running the same thing, getting some practice in, trying it out against the Drukhari shenanigans. I am not sure what to think about the Thousand Suns mortal wound output in this matchup, but we'll find out. It should be loads of fun, and we'll be back next to talk about the armies. Here we go, Triple Patrol rocking out here for the Drukhari. Haven't played them in a little bit, so this will be kind of fun. We'll start over here with the Prophets of Flesh. Drazar is in that detachment. He has Hatred Eternal. He's a Warlord. You got a Homunculus with a Vexator Mask, because, you know, if you're playing Prophets of Flesh, don't leave home without that. You got 2 squads of Racks, just bare bones. You got 5 Grotesques and a Chronos rocking around there to give the reroll ones to wound. And that's it. That's all of their stuff. I don't remember where the Incubi fall into the different patrols, because that part doesn't matter so much. We have another patrol with the Archon. He's got a Huskblade and a Blast Pistol, and he has the Warlord trait Ancient Evil, and the Animus Vitae Relic. 2 squads of Cavalite Warriors with a Blaster in each, and at least 2 of the Incubi are in this patrol as well, because that allows me to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Raiders. And the 2 with the older style looking guns do not have chain snares. The other 3 have chain snares. Just that's how I'm keeping them separate, and that's how the points worked. And I also have 2 Ravagers with the triple disintegrator cannons. And then I have a Succubus with the Razor Flails, Dark Lotus Toxin, and Precision Blows, because that's another thing you don't leave home without. We've got 5 Barebones Witches, 5 Witches with a couple upgrades. She has a Blast Pistol, and she has Morvane's Agonizer, which I don't know if that's going to be as handy in this particular matchup today. If she gets in combat with stuff in this game, she's probably going to die in the next turn anyways, and it'll fall back, or doesn't stop teleporting either, which I'm aware of. But we'll see. It could be helpful, might not be, who knows. So that's it. That is exactly 2,000 points. We did have a slight question amongst ourselves as to whether or not you can still use the prizes from the Dark City twice in a 2,000 point game. If you cannot, please let me know where it says I cannot do that, because we couldn't find it. And I would be cheating with 1 extra relic if I can't do that. But as far as we can tell, it's legal. So there it is, 2,000 points, and we'll come back to look at the Thousand Suns next. All right, here's the Thousand Suns. It is a list we've seen once before on the channel. So we've got 10 Scarab Occult, 5 Scarab Occult. We have 2 5-man Rubric bricks and 1 6-man with Flamers. Then we also are going to have a Sorcerer, we have Ahriman, we have an Infernal Master in the back, we have the Exalted Sorcerer there on the right. He is the Warlord. Both Ahriman and the Exalted get 3 casts with the way this is set up. Kind of cheeky. Then you have the Hellbrutes, 2 of them, and a Contemptor the Dread with the Volkites. Yes. Lots of teleport shenanigans in this army, lots of smiting and mortal wound output, and I don't have anything to deny that, other than feel no pains on my few Coven units. So it could go real fast, one way or the other. We shall find out soon. We'll be back next for the mission and the deployment. Alright folks, here we are. We have rolled up mission number 12, Scorched Earth. So you've got 6 objectives once again. Haven't actually played a 6 objective game until Josh showed up. And then here we go. So here's the objectives. There's 2 in the middle. There's 2 right on the edge of each person's deployment zone. We're playing mostly the GW Open Series terrain again. And what I've done is I've got a Ravager back here in the corner in the dense, or looking through. We're playing those as dense terrain. We've got the other Ravagers right here. This is full of 5 Grotesques. We have Racks and Incubi and Homunculus there with Chronos. We have this boat with Archon, Cabalites, Incubi. We have Drazar, Incubi, Witches, 5 Cabalites chilling over there in the corner. And then this last one right behind the dents has got the Succubus, more Racks, and Witches with the Morvane's Agonizer. Facing down the way, got the big block of Scarab Occult. We've got, looks like Rubrics, and is that the Infernal Master? Oh no, that's your Exalted. Exalted, so there's 2 squads of Rubrics, 2 Hellbrutes in the Inferno. Over here we got the regular Sorcerer, we've got Ahriman, we've got, I'm guessing, the 6-man and the 5-man, the 6-man Rubric and 5-man...
6-man's over here.
Oh, the 6-man was over here.
That's the 5-man.
Okay, that's the 5-man and the 5-man.
And the 5-man.
Cool. Infernal Master way in the back, and the Contemptor. Yeah, so there are some lines of sight. There are some different things there. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with this game. And no psychering on my part of the field, so that could be interesting for me. And we shall have the roll-off. Josh, I'll let you roll first. A 3. A 5. That's, yes, I'll take that. Drukari, turn 1 is next. Alright, so end of turn 1 for Drukari. Moved this guy here. The guy that was there moved up. These 2 shot into the Scarab Occult back there, and we did a whole wound. He spent his stratagem to reduce damage by 1, and I vected it, so in the future it'll cost a bit more. I did move this raider up. It was here. It has a grotesque in it. I fired it into the Contemptor and failed to wound. Then I did Never Stationary to move it forward to get myself engaged on all fronts for at least 2 points this turn. This guy moved forward. He has some Incubi left. The Rax and Homunculus got out and kind of moved into a little bubble there, raised banners. He did not have line of sight because I was a peanut and forgot about the edge of the board there on the ruin. So the Contemptor took 1 Dark Lance shot, and I did 4 wounds or 5 wounds on him. So I started at least to whittle him down. Back here, these guys raised banners. These boats all moved up. We shot 2 of the Dark Lances into the Scarab Occult. He made 2 5-up invulnerable saves. Then the last one, I shot into the rear Hellbrute back there. I think I did 5 wounds on it as well. I figured I'd start whittling on these guys because, yeah, why not? Because he already spent his reduced damage thing over there. But then I did kill one with a blaster shot from the Cabalite Warrior in here. So I got 1. It's a start. I did a thing. So overall, I feel like it was kind of lackluster. I did raise 2 banners. Moved around, got into the board a little bit, and that's it. So we'll see how much the Thousand Suns kill with their psychic mites and smites and shooting in the next turn. Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, the turn 1 from the Thousand Suns was about what I expected. They are nasty. So, Psychic Phase dropped the front Raider here down to like 1 wound remaining. Over here, the Raider that had the Archon was at 2 wounds remaining, I think, at the end of the Psychic Phase. So, a bunch of Psychicking going on, not to mention Contemptor is a 4-up invul now, +1 to hit, -1 to hit for him. These dudes, Warp Time, it's not called Warp Time, it's a Temporal Flux Surge. So, they moved again, but the only bright spot in my day was they failed their charge. Ha! Twice. Yes. So this got shot and killed. 2 Grotesque died getting out. Painful. This one got shot and killed. 3 Incubi died getting out. Then the last 2 got shot with some Infernal Combi Bolter business over there. Missile Launcher shot this boat and did take 2 wounds off of it. The Night Shield saves, not really a thing I could do today. At least not in turn 1. Then over here, we had this last boat get flamered by some Rubrics, so it's gone. Everybody got out except for 2 Cabalite Warriors. They were up in the front. They got shot and killed. The Incubi in here, I spent points. I did Hunt from the Shadows. I did Lightning Fast. They still got obliterated. Down to the Kalevex, who had a wound left, and he failed morale, because that's cool. I rolled a 6 for that guy's morale test. So sad. Archon's still there. Then this boat got exploderized. I lost a single witch getting out of that boat. The witches and Incubi, they were the last ones to disembark, and there was no more shooting over there. So I did go ahead and use a little movement on that side of the board. So I have a single Raider left. I have 2 Ravagers left. And yeah, I lost a whole squad of Incubi. 2 whole squads of Incubi already. So that's disappointing. But let me tell you guys, if you haven't played against the Thousand Suns, the shooting game that they can bring is pretty ferocious. And then you couple that with some psychic against a non-psychic army. And this is kind of what I expected for turn 1. So my hopes and prayers hinge around being able to get into combat and cripple things in combat. I have no idea if that's possible. But we're going to give it a red hot go. So turn 2, battle round 2, Drukhari is next. Alright folks, we're back. The end of the Drukhari turn 2. Everything here left. Bye-bye! These guys sat still. Everything here ran, advanced, and charged. I also disembarked the Succubus, so she got out and ran up and did a charge. And then I put the Archon, who was so far back here that he wasn't going to be in range to throw the Animus Vitae. So he hopped in the boat. The boat moved forward to get within 6 inches of the Rubric squad that was here with the Flamers. So he chunked the grenade, which made everybody in my army hitting on 2s, which I really appreciated. And then we did all the charges. So I charged with the 5 witches first. I spent the 1 command point to ignore Overwatch, and they charged the Rubrics and the Scarab Occult. Locked them down with no overwatching, which was handy. Then Succubus and Drazar went into the Scarab Occult on that side. The Incubi squad came into the Rubrics here with the witches. And then I'm not talking about shooting phase because I didn't do anything. I think I had 1 wound go through on a Scarab Occult in shooting from over here, I think, out of all that, and that was it. But in melee, we took care of the Scarab Occults, the Rubrics here, tied up the Hellbrute in the front. Incubi piled into the squad of Rubrics there. You know, it is what it is. I'm down to 1 command point left. I spent lightning fast on these witches. So that was that. So over there, lots of good carnage. Over here, he ran as fast as his little legs could carry him. He also, I think I might have advanced. He might not have advanced. So he just moved up. So he's helping the character block. We made the charge with the Grotesque, and we trailed back. We were in range for everybody to hit. So we had the reroll 1s from him, the +1 toughness from him. And all the shooting over here from my Ravagers went into the Contemptor. And I took like 2 more wounds off of it, so I think he's down to 3. Then I charged first here to see if he was going to Overwatch or not. He chose not to, so I tagged the Contemptor and the Scarabs with this boat. He heroically intervened with these guys. These guys came in and slapped and killed 1.5, I think. That was it. I was a little disappointed. He rolled some hot saves for these guys, whereas on the other side of the board, he rolled 1s and 2s for days. It was quite the reversal. He chose to hit everything hitting into this boat, so it's still here with 1 wound, but that's not going to last long. And that's the whole turn. I realized I didn't talk about secondaries or any of that jazz earlier. So these are the secondaries. I've raised 2 banners. I'm engaging, and then we have Heard the Prey. He has Mutated Landscape as a Warpcraft from the book. So he just has to do the psychic spell or action on an objective. It has to be a different objective every time. But he gets 3 points the first time. It's one of those that escalates. So it's Warp Charge 4 to start, and it goes up to Warp Charge 5, etc., etc. But it's a pretty solid one to take. He also has Rod, Retrieve Octarius Data, and Engage. So that is the end of my turn. We're about to go into Thousand Suns turn 2. Let's see what he kills on the slap back. End of the turn for the Thousand Suns. Teleporting shenanigans occurred. So they popped themselves over here, and then they shot into my racks over on that point. Thanks to the Prophets of Flesh, Transhuman, etc., etc., I only lost 1. I was very excited about that. These boys, the Rubrics, moved forward. They got onto this objective, just towed into it with their warp time kind of thing where they move again. So they were able to do the warp ritual, so that nets them another 3 on Mutated Landscape. They charged Mr. Homunculus, so I made them fight last. He killed 1, hurt 1, then they consolidated into my Chronos, so he also managed to slap and do nothing, because the Chronos in combat's not super exciting. These guys, my Grotesques, actually weathered the Psychic Storm well. I had lost 2 wounds, so I was proud of them. Then the boat, not so much. It died. It did not actually explode. Then Mr. Contemptor decided to just delete my Grotesques, and I think pretty thoroughly. Yep, they died. They're dead. So that was well played there. Then on this side over here, we had all kinds of psychic shenanigans, killed the succubus, and Drazar was left on a wound. I did use lightning fast on him. It didn't help. He died. He had one wound left after the psychic phase, and then he succumbed. The incubi lost 2 more to shooting, and my witches lost 2 in combat, but they did deal 5 wounds, I think, to the hellbrute, so that was kind of amusing, because it's not usually what a witch is designed to do. And that was basically the end of the turn. These guys did feel bad after they failed their failed their charge. So my Cabalites get to breathe for at least 1 turn. And I feel like there was a command point spent for something by Josh, so they didn't have a reroll charge. But that's the only reason that didn't get rerolled. That's the end of that turn. So, going into Drukhari, turn 3. The end of Drukhari, turn 2, has seen the witches disembark, make a charge. We did some shooting, so shooting from them and them. She has a blast pistol. We killed 1, I think, in shooting, 1.5 maybe. We killed another one in combat, but annoyingly, that guy didn't die. We did shoot and kill a Hellbrute with the Dark Lance. The Archon got over here, made his charge, and took 4 wounds off the, it was Infernal, no, Exalted Sorcerer. Took 4 wounds off of him, he was left on 1. My witches actually killed the Hellbrute in melee, which was fabulous. So he exploderized, killed the Exalted Sorcerer, killed a witch, killed a rack, took a wound off the Archon. And then in glorious combat over here, my incubi survived, and I lost 3 more in melee to these dudes. I was a little disappointed by that. So I have a single rack, which I probably ought to roll morale for, now that I think about that, because it's only turn 3. So we'll do that in a second. Over here, I moved this boat forward to shoot into yonder Scarab Occult. Then I had a change of heart, and I shot at the Contemptor, and I got so close. He made 1 save too many. So that thing is still alive on a single wound, but I nearly killed it. In combat over here, I got rid of all but the one, what is he called, a Sorcerer, or Aspiring Sorcerer. So he's still alive. He dealt 3 wounds to my Homunculus that turn. It's kind of sad about that. I think that's it. I did move my racks into that building, so they're a little bit more protected than they were. That's it. So that wound out my turn. He obnoxiously has this guy just over the line, so he's in my side, so no Herd the Prey. Mr. Scarab didn't die back there, so I didn't get Herd the Prey on that side. 2 or 3 little Rubrics over here still alive. Don't get engaged, don't get Herd the Prey over here. But I tried. I really did. So that's it. So it's now Thousand Suns turn 3. We'll be back in a second. The end of the turn for the Thousand Suns. This is battle round 3, and things are grim all around. This guy, man, did he go off. He cast just a regular smite, but he did 3 mortal wounds. All my witches died. He did shoot, however, I rolled a 6 for the 1 wound that went through, so I'm proud of them. They lived. Over here, Psychic, it was rude. Mr. Ahriman came over. I think it was Ahriman did the smite that killed the Cabalites. He did a big old, I think that was a super smite on him and killed the Cabalites. Then the Rubrics did this action to get another 3 points for the secondary. Ahriman shot my witch, didn't kill her. He failed a wound. The rack that was there survived the pistol shot but died in melee. So those guys knocked him around a little bit. Over here, Psychic Shenanigans killed my poor little Homunculus. He had all the pains in the world in this turn. This was a regular Sorcerer. Yeah, so the regular Sorcerer, he moved over that direction. He charged into the Kronos. The Kronos did a thing. I was super impressed. Killed that guy in combat. This guy did not charge because he's OBSEC, and that would have been silly, and it would have ended up being him that died, which would have been tremendous. Mr. Contemptor, with 1 wound left, ruining my day, shot and killed all my racks that were in here. Shot and took this down to 2 wounds. So I got really lucky to keep this alive. Yeah, I'm still disappointed. very, yeah, not cool. And I think that's it. So here we are at the end of battle round 3. It's actually fairly close points wise. Secondaries are different for each of us, but they're pretty similar, and primaries pretty similar for each of us. So yeah, it is now going to be Drukhari turn 4, and we'll see what we can do with what's left on the board. Alright, turn 3 is over. There were some great highs and some terrible lows. This guy, we got a blaster shot through. I rolled a 1. I re-rolled it with a CP into a 2, so he's still there. All the splinter shots didn't do anything. I can't believe he's still there. I'm so sad. She came. Oh, I advanced her. That's why I didn't try to raise banners. She advanced over to sit on the point, but she did not raise a banner. I almost lied, so didn't mark it up. That's good. Over here, this boat moved up, shot and hit the Contemptor, and I rolled a 2 to wound. Great. So 1 wound Contemptor, still kicking around. The Archon shot into the Rubrics and hit and rolled like a 1 to wound. So once again, that was fun. So then I come over here to Mr. Disintegrators. He's down to 2 wounds, so of course he's hitting on 5s. I throw a whole bunch of stuff at him. I hit him 1 time. I wound him 1 time, and what does Josh do? He rolls a flippin' 5-up invulnerable save. So the only hero of the day for the shooting phase, this boy, powered up his flamers, killed the Rubric, and killed the, he was the Sorcerer? Or, I don't remember which one he was.
Infernal Master.
He was the Infernal Master, yes. So I did manage to clear this quarter, so I picked up 2 for her to pray. But I'm just uber bitter that Contemptor wouldn't die, and that 1 Scarab wouldn't die with the things that actually hit them too. It is what it is. I even tried, because why not? I even tried the charge. So he's failed a 9-inch charge twice. I have now failed a 9-inch charge over here. Over on that front, when I was 2 inches away from everything, I rolled 10s for everything that charged, but not this one. And they probably would have died in melee, but there was just a 1 wound to get rid of. I figured there was a small chance. So that's the end of my turn. We'll be back for Thousand Suns turn 4 next. Thousand Suns turn 4 is ended. We took some wounds over here from the Contemptor, but he's still alive with 2. This guy didn't get hurt this particular turn. This guy, it was sort of rough. Mr. Scarab, moved over to here. He cast the mutated, whatever that's called, mutated landscape thing, so picked up another 3 on that, so that's a nice secondary for him. Then he did finally make a charge, and he killed all but 1 of my Cabalite warriors, and then my Cabalite warrior did not kill him in return. Kind of disappointed there. And then I rolled a 6 to run away. I was so sad. Would have been kind of clutch to keep him on there and contest that objective, but no. Over here, Mr. Ahriman rudely did a smite and killed my witch. The Sorcerer from the Rubric squad, Aspiring Sorcerer, did a smite and killed my Archon. And there was a variety of buffing things that happened to the Rubrics, and the result in the end of the day was that my Raider is alive on 2 wounds. Ahriman took a wound from the Raider in return, and he's down to 5 left, I guess. Ish. So, oh, he has a 2 left, sorry. Oh yeah, that's right, because I did actually do some stuff. Yep. So that's it. That is where we sit. It is spicy. We'll just say that. It is spicy. So, we'll come back for Drukhari turn 5. Alrighty, guys and gals, this turn 5 is ended for the Drukhari. This guy, hitting on 6s because somebody had to go and be glamorous, got a wound through. What does he do? Rolls a 5. Or 4 actually, because you had the cover. Either way, he made his save. I'm very frustrated with that. Over here, I got this Raider shoots Ahriman in the face, hits him on a 5 because we're cool like that, wounds him, and then he rolls a 4-up invul save. So disappointed. That would have just been fun to kick him on the way out the door. But finally, I have removed my nemesis, the Contemptor. I did have to advance homie just to get him within the 12-inch, so both of my flamer things were in range, spirit probes, etc. And we finally killed it. So I knocked him out, which was beautiful. And then that's it. So I picked up 10 for primary. I got 1 banner point this turn. No engage, but I did get her to pray. So yeah, it's super close. Josh has done a little mathing over there, and it's wildly close. We'll see what happens at the end of the game. I'm not going to add anything up until it's all over. So 1,000 Suns, turn 5. Here we go. The end of the game. Really what it is he did some movements to get people into the correct positions, and we're not shooting because it makes no difference. Ahriman zip-zapped over there, staying in that table quarter so that he is in that quarter, this guy's in this quarter. Ahriman almost cast the Mutated Landscape. I think it needed like an 8 to go off this time, and he got a 7 with his reroll, so it was close. That would have been a max on that. The Rubrics over there teleported and came down and just landed over in this quarter, so that he got the 15 for holding 3, and then engage for another 2 points over there. We didn't do the shooting psychic stuff. That might have been dead. It's hard to say. This might have died. I mean, he's in range of smites for both of them, so the smites alone might have killed both things. So I might have been tabled at the end of the turn, but it wouldn't have changed the score. So here's the score. At the end of all of that, this was an amazing game. We come down to it. It's 81 Drukhari, 75,000 Suns, and Heard the Prey, saved my bacon at the very end, and yeah, it was wild. We were talking a little bit about it. The Cult of Strife being able to ignore Overwatch made all of that happen in that quarter over there and really hurt the rod. This guy, the thorn in my side, I couldn't believe he's still alive. They're supposed to be hard to kill, and he is. But if he could have just died, it would have changed everything about this quarter for me. You know, it is what it is. It's a Drukari win. It was an amazing game. 3 units left for the 1,000 Suns, and realistically, you probably would have tabled what I had left with those 3 units that were left between Psychic and shooting. So what a blast. What a blast. I hope y'all enjoyed the game. We've certainly had fun. It has been Kitchen Table Wargaming, signing out.